It was January 13, 2006, and it was an usual day in Argentina. People were busy with their day-to-day works, and the clock turned 12:30 in the afternoon. The police station's telephone started to ring, and it was informed that there is an active robbery in Banco Reno. Argentina's most prestigious bank is Banco Reno, and it holds the most valuable things and money. Soon the police reached the bank, and there were only 4 robbers and 3 civilians in the bank. And there is 2 entry and exit points for that bank. A large group of media and police were present in the both entry and exit roads. Since the afternoon, the police are trying to reach the robbers and civilians, but there is no response. It was too silent and the clock turned 7 in the night. Since there is no response to know what's going on inside, the special force task was sent inside the bank and the civilians are safe. Not even a single harm had happened to civilians, and the valuable things were out of the sight. And no sight of robbers also. Now the question is, who are those robbers? And how on earth they escaped from that bank? And that too without harming anyone. How did they rob the bank? Banco Reno is Argentina's most prestigious bank, and it is an important asset for the Argentina's economy. And it has many branches, and one of the branches was located in Vinos. The robbery was common in that place. The present robbery was inspired by the previous robbery attempt. The previous robbery was take place in 1990, and it was failed attempt because the police opened fire and they killed all the robbers. But sadly, 2 civilians were also killed in that encounter. But this time, police were decided to not harm any civilians, so that's why they did not open fire on robbers. But this time, there were robbers inside the bank, and each and every one was observed by police and press. One of the robbers called Walter called police and introduced himself as Nick. The first thing was, as I mentioned earlier, they used toy guns for the robbery. And the second thing was, no cash was taken, because during 2001, there is an economic crisis in Argentina. And during that crisis, Argentina lost its currency's value, and the Argentinian money is worthless. That's why the robbers only took valuable things from the bank lockers. But we are only looking from the police point of view. Now let's see from the robbers' point of view. Fernando is the main person behind this robbery. He inspired from the previous robbery attempt. Fernando had a best friend called Walter. Fernando explained robbery plan to Walter, and Walter agreed. But to rob such a big place, 2 people are not enough. So they hired ex-robbers or retired robbers. Now the plan is ready. Firstly, they went to bank and purchased the same kind of locker, and they brought that locker home and they tested that locker, that how much time it takes to open that locker. They give money to the hired robbers, and they started digging tunnel. So they wanted to make the police believe that robbers will return to the same van. But the twist is, robbers were escaped from the same tunnel. The plan worked. Police were only targeted the robbers' van. By the time robbers successfully executed the gun, before leaving, robbers poured the bleaching powder in the locker room to confuse the police. Now the biggest question is, how did the police caught the robbers? Here, Ferdinando did not commit any mistake in his plan, but as I mentioned earlier, they hired some retired robbers. One of that robber casually told his wife about the robbery. The moral: after a few days, the robber husband and wife had a fight, and the wife informed everything to police. The moral of this story is, what goes around always come around. See you in the next episode. Thank you.